Welcome back, Lego enthusiasts, to Heart of a Kid Productions. I've been gone out of town for a little bit, but obviously still had to stop at some Lego type stores to pick up some exclusive figures that they had in stock. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Hey guys, how you doing? It's been, I think, at least a week. I've kind of been busy with family, and then obviously took a little road trip with my family to see my sister-in-law and the family there. But while I was out there, you can't just stop and not think about Lego, because obviously, if you're a kid like me or an adult who has a kid at heart, like I always say, you just go out and check out the local Lego shops in different places. And I had to pick up a couple things, see what they had, and it was one of those like kind of brick and minifig stores, but not kind of like e-brick, something like that. But at the end of the day, I ended up looking and I ended up buying four figures. Little pricey because obviously they're old collectible figures, but there was one in particular that, well, I will get into last, that I've been wanting for a long time. I wish I would have got that set when it came out, but obviously I didn't. But the first two figures that I actually got were these ostriches. And these ostriches, which are so cool, are perfect for my zoo. When I make a zoo one day with all my figures, because now I have the elephants and I have some lions and tigers and stuff and panthers. But these ostriches came out in a Prince of Persia set that came out a while ago, a movie from Sands of Time. And they just happened to have these, two of them. And I actually only picked up one because I bought another figure the day before. And then I went back before we left and I was like, man, they have that other ostrich. I'm like, I can't just have one ostrich, I need two. So I ended up picking up two of these, and I was like, that'll be perfect, you know, a nice little coop with two ostriches. So I thought that was actually really cool, and they're really done really well. I like that their heads move. I like that the eyes and the little nostrils, if you can see that, yeah, little nostrils, looks really good, and it has kind of two-tone tails, and they stand pretty good. Obviously, I keep knocking them over, but that's just because of me and my balance. But yeah, they were pretty cool. So they were about $20 a piece, but I ended up getting a discount and getting hooked up. This little haul that I ended up getting was probably $120 worth or so, maybe a little more than that. But I ended up getting everything for like 70 bucks. So I actually made out at the end of the deal. So these are two that I ended up getting, and like I said, I probably got them for like 10 bucks each. So not terrible. And I'm really glad that I was able to pick these two up, so to add to my collection. So they'll be put with all my other animals until I make a zoo in the future. So really cool. So let's go ahead and move these aside. Next figure I got, which lately, because we've been being advertised for that new Commander Cody that was supposed to be released or coming up soon, and they just released a video on him and the ATTE. And you know, I was just like, man, I had the ATTE with Mace Windu from I think 2013 or somewhere around there, and it also came with a Jedi. And I was like, you know what? I kind of just started getting into the Jedis again, and I was like, man, I'm missing a lot of essential, awesome looking Jedis. And it's funny because this one obviously has the unique head mold, and then obviously comes with his lightsaber. And I saw this guy in the store, and he was pretty pricey. He was about 40 bucks. And I actually was like, man, he's in good condition, good quality, official Lego. And I was like, and I do not have him. So what I ended up doing was I ended up coming back the next day, and they had sold the first one. And I was like, man, he was gone because I only saw one. And they actually happened to have this guy in the back in a bag. They just hadn't put him out yet. So, and this was the only other one they had left. So they had two, just one was on display. So I was like, oh man, I'm like, I got to pick him up. So he's going to be added to my collection. And obviously there's other Jedis that I will pick up later in the future that I do want, that I do not have. I have Sokana. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't say her name off the top of my head perfectly, but yeah, I have her. And then there's a couple other that I really wish I would have picked up when they came out not even a couple, not, yeah, only a couple years ago, but I was like, man, and of course that's what happens, right? You end up going out and you buy Lego and you buy Lego, and then there's Legos that you see and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't really care for this set right now. It's not a big deal. Maybe I'll get it later. And then you don't buy it, right? And then years later, you're like, you kind of get this itch that like, man, I wish I would have got that set because I really wanted that one figure that was in it, and you don't get it, and you're like kicking yourself later because I could have got this guy for out of probably a $40 set and would have got a whole set with other figures to include him for $40, and instead I paid almost $40 for him because obviously, like I said, I got a discount. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, at the time I was like, man, $40, I want to buy other things, and you kind of go back and you're kind of kicking yourself because you're like, I should have just bought it when I saw it, and that happens a lot. I mean, there are times that I'll be like, man, I should have got this, and now it's retired, or you wait too long and then you have to buy them on the aftermarket. And sometimes minifigures are cheap and you're like, oh cool, I could just get the minifigure, not a big deal. But obviously, if you only want the minifigure and you end up buying a set, then you're like, well, I could just kind of break down the set and use those as pieces versus paying $40 later for a figure that you wanted that you could have got a whole set worth. But he's really cool. I love how he's sturdy. He's still strong. His pieces are solid. They're not weak, and he is a couple years old, well, a good amount of years old, but he's survived and looks really good. So he's my new Jedi that will be added to my collection. And as you've seen on my Lego City, I have two Jedis like standing in front of like a Mercedes sign kind of advertising. So maybe I'll just throw him over there as a third Jedi kind of standing there. Or just put him in the bag and keep him safe because he's cool. I just love this little head. I love how it works, and obviously it's perfect and it's really cool. But I just like having the Jedis, like having I have Darth Maul, a more recent Darth Maul, and I just like having those characters, the good and the bad, with the Jedis and the Sith. So now that I've missed out on a couple for the past few years, there'll be ones that I actually will end up adding to my collection later. So just a little. Anyways, that was my next one, and then actually I got this one. I actually picked up the first day, and now this one I've been wanting for a long time, and I was like really disappointed that they never came out with him again, and they might, but now I have the original, and that is Deadpool, and I love Deadpool. So it's funny because I have a alter ego for the DC universe as the Flash. All my friends know me as the Flash. And I actually got that nickname playing volleyball because I was fast on the court, on the sand as well. But in my Marvel universe, my alter ego is Deadpool. So, and it's funny because both characters that are my alternates on two different universes are red, which is crazy. So, but he comes with, I think he only actually came with one pistol, but when they had him in there, they had two pistols in his hand. So if they had two, came with two pistols, I wasn't aware of that, but works because, I mean, he's always shooting multiple guns. And then he's got his katanas as well, which obviously fit in the back in his sheath, which is really cool. So he's got both of those. That's really cool. And of course, I can't get it. There we go. So it comes with this little sheath, two swords, and this guy is in really good condition. And again, he was a $40 figure. But you know what? I hadn't seen him anywhere else that I've gone to look, and I was like, gonna kick myself if I don't pick up this guy before he turns into an $80 figure or whatever over time. And obviously, they've only came out with like Deadpool Duck, and then Deadpool Sheriff, but those were Comic-Con exclusive. This is the only one they actually ever came out with for a Lego set, with the Wolverine and Helicopter and Magneto set, and I never ended up getting it. And at the same time, I wasn't big into Marvel as much as I am now compared to, because I'm a huge DC guy, but this figure I always wanted, and I just kind of, like I said, I kind of just didn't pick it up when I should have picked it up. And I was like, oh, they'll come out with another, not a big deal. I got other things I'm dealing with. And next thing you know, I think it's been like 8-10 years, and they still haven't made another Deadpool character. So the funny thing is, now that I finally paid for this guy, I'm sure they'll come out with a Deadpool, maybe for the Deadpool 3 movie minifigure. But the funny thing is, even though if they do and this character's price drops, to me he's still worth it, because this is the original and he's in great condition. He looks really cool, comes with 2 guns, 2 katanas that slide in and out no problem. And then he just looks great. And I might even add him to my Daily Bugle set with all the other Marvel characters over there in my city, just to have him out, because I mean, I finally got him. He looks good, and they had 2, so I ended up picking up this one. And I almost was on the verge of buying a second one just to have a second one, but at the same time I was like, man, it's a little pricey, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait and hope they come out with an alternate one in the future, because now I have the original. And then what'll probably happen is I'll probably end up putting this one back in a bag or somewhere safe, and then putting out that other Deadpool out, because he's not as collectible as this one, because he's the original. So, you know, at the end of the day, this was my little Lego haul while I was on vacation. You know, I visited that store twice, and even my wife was like, oh, yep, he's got to go to the Lego store, because he's got to go check out while we're in town. It was a small little town we were visiting, so it was like, I was like, man, let me look up what stores have Lego, and it was like a bricks and minifix. So it was great that, you know, you go in there and you're like, cool, they have tons of characters all over the place, and they were having a sale as well, buy one get one 50% off, and I also got coupons and extra discounts. So I ended up making out, and for all 4 of these figures, I ended up spending about $70, and I think it would have been about 120 or 125, 130 maybe. So I saved at least about $40. So and that pretty much is this figure by himself. So in the end of it, I could say I got this one for free, and it's the one that I wanted the most. So as you can see, yeah, so all 3 of them, let's see, yep, or 4 of them, I keep saying 3 of them. I think because I'm counting the birds as pretty much one figure, but 2 ostriches and the Jedi, and obviously Deadpool, and you know, it's nice to have these pieces, because these 2 I wanted after I decided I was going to make a zoo in the future, and I was like, man, it would be great if I had those ostriches that came out in that Prince of Persia set. That wasn't a big deal a long time ago, and 2 came out with that one set, and I never got them. And then Deadpool, it was like, man, I love that character, and they've never come out with him. I want a Deadpool, so finally got him. And then, like I said, with the whole Commander Cody coming out, and Stormtroopers and everything going on, and it's just, I've been getting this Star Wars kick, and they just announced for LegoCon that big ship, and then obviously the AT-TE, and I was just like, man, the biggest thing is with the recent Mace Windu set with the Purple Troopers. I've been waiting for Lego to restock, because I want at least 3 more of those, so I have multiple Purple Troopers, and it's been at least 2 months and they still haven't restocked anywhere. So I'm waiting on those, and then I was like, man, but I want the Jedis too, so I can have a whole Jedi kind of group, and then I want Stormtroopers of different colors. So with the AT-TE Commander Cody one, like they have 2 12 troopers, which are in orange, and then another gunner that's a little different color. And I was like, man, I kind of want to buy 3 of those, so I have at least 9 of those orange troopers looking awesome. And then I have 3 Commander Codys, which is just great, because then I can keep 2 in perfect condition. But we'll see how that goes. And the price wasn't terrible for the AT-TE. Like I said, I had the AT-TE with the Mace Windu and one of the other soldiers, and another Jedi, so from the past. So, and I built that once, and it was great. And it's a funny story real quick. When I actually bought that set, I bought it overseas, and I remember opening it up and building it, and my set did not have Mace Windu's lightsaber. He didn't have his purple lightsaber. Like, it came with the lightsaber hilt, but it did not have the lightsaber purple piece. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, I just bought this overseas, built it, took it home, and it literally was missing the purple lightsaber part. And I actually was like looking through the box, and I was like, did I drop it? misplaced it, and I was like, I have it on the table. I'm like, did it fall off the table? I'm looking everywhere, and that purple piece was nowhere to be found. And I was like, of course, the one lightsaber I wanted to make sure I had, it was missing. So I coordinated with Lego at that time, and they shipped it right to me. Got to my house in like a week or two. But I was like, finally, I got my purple lightsaber. I was like, but it felt like it was missing because obviously Mace Windu without a purple lightsaber, it's like, well, that was the whole point of the set, in my opinion, at that time. Like, this new one is going to be Commander Cody. To me, that is the main draw to that set, and I want it. So, and I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting, and obviously, waiting for Commander Cody to come out, and then Commander Rex would be great here in a future set to kind of have those guys, communicating and all that. But other than that, sorry for rambling on, but just did a little Lego haul. Wanted to show you guys what I ended up buying this past little trip, because I kind of been missing in action for a few days, maybe a week. But yeah, other than that, this is what I picked up, and they had a lot of cool stuff. I wish I had a lot more money. I would have probably bought a lot more, but these were the top of the ideas that I wanted to pick up that day. So other than that, and I'll be visiting there probably around 4th of July again. So I already told them, I'm like, I'll be back in store to see what you guys got. So at the end of the day, this is a nice little haul for me. Not going crazy at the store, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So it was kind of good to kind of keep a little bit of money in my pocket. But it is hard when you walk into a store when there's so many amazing things that you want to pick up. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are getting ready for this holiday coming up and enjoy your time with your family and life. And remember, like I always say, you can enjoy everything and anything as long as you have the heart of a kid. So keep enjoying life and enjoying whatever hobbies you guys do. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe, hit that like button, leave me a comment. And again, I know this was just a short little Lego haul of some minifigures, nothing big. But I'll be building and buying new stuff here in the near future, and be going over more Lego and stuff that I enjoy and talking about it, and hope you guys continue to enjoy what I am putting out there. And again, I'm just a regular guy, just enjoying the moment and taking advantage of my time and stuff that I'm able to enjoy and provide to you all, and just have a conversation. So anyways, it was nice talking to you guys again, and I will see you next time. All right, well, peace out, and you guys have a blessed weekend, and enjoy Monday coming up. But I will talk to you all later. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.